Okay, so you already know how to do a head, so I'm going to skip that whole tutorial and just move on to the main body. What happens is you have your shoulders here that come off to the sides. Since he's leaning on something, they're going to be going up slightly like this. Coming around. Shoulders, I'm going to mark that off. And since he's slouching like this, kind of, you're going to want to build his rib cage around that shape. So there'd be the pectoral muscle, there'd be the back of the rib cage. So elbow would be right about here. And his arm would come in right like that. So we can get rid of all this extra, which we don't need. So it leaves us with this basic shape. Now, I'm assuming since he is a rich person, he's usually of a lighter build and not completely fat or necessarily big in general muscularly. So I'm going to give him a decent build, but not too strong. So make the arm go in just below the rib cage, which would be right here. That would come in to meet his hand on the cane. Now, typically you would have his top hand coming over like that, then his bottom hand coming through like that. Then you'd have his body coming down. I want to angle his head a little bit more now that I think about it. His arm coming in like so. Maybe we should make him a little bit broader in the hips. And we gave him the line for the cane. Coming over his head. A little bit more of that back muscle. As that come down like that. Then, this front foot will be propped slightly in front of the other. Let's give him some meat. Leg. Since you wanted him in a trench coat, we should begin constructing that. So right now, we have our basic sketch. Well, should fix this leg. Basic sketch. Sketching, sketching, sketching. Do, 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 do. There, got his body. Sure, hold it. Now, make sure you continue on to add and refine this. But there's the basic shape. You can build off of this in any way that you want. So you get his crotch, give him the leg. Continue on like that. Now for the top hat, you would typically be wearing that just above the eyebrow level, so I'm going to get a sketch of his eyes in real fast. Just give him a band where the hat would be. The hat would be resting along the top, coming around maybe a little bit more than that around the ends, considering how large the hat is. Coming around like that. Then it'll be coming off the top of his head. It's a bit big, but so I'll fix that. It's a big top hat. And there's a basic top hat. I don't typically draw hats on my characters. I think they're ugly, but that's just me. Now, continue on, and a few more details here and there to the hat. Now for the trench coat. Typically what you would do when wearing a trench coat is that you would be wearing a collared shirt underneath. Then the coat on top, collared shirt, and then a tie. So, just finish off the details on his face. Give him a basis of some hair. The proportion of this is not my best, but this is enough to get you started. So, then you'd be wearing it half buttoned. So you'd have that coming in, this coming down, and this would be coming down in the front, about just above the knee. 2.5. Have the second half of the coat coming up under the collar, down like that. Ding dong, ding ding. To be resting on the top. It's not right. Now, typically a trench coat also have something on the shoulders. Since his legs are slightly spread for the sake of mobility, it would be more off to the side. Something like this. Like that. There would be 4 buttons. Can't draw that last one. There we go. Okay. Going up. We can start building on that game. A few lines to make it look like wood. And we're almost done. Now at this point it's pretty much all touch-ups, so I'll give you the basic rundown. This goes over the shoulder, this goes right here. So over the shoulder, comes in, collared shirt, bang bang, triangle, triangle, comes around the back of the neck, come tie, necktie, zoom in, zoom shade. Now that comes in, comes out. Pink hair, maybe a little bit more hair, make him look like somebody from Black Butler with his sexy man guy face dude that also looks kind of gay. Moving on with his legs, boom, legs. Then there would also be pockets on the side. Just like that. And then around the back there'd be a belt loop. There's a belt come in. And typically, if you're a fancier person, these belt would be going between the last and next to last, coming in and tightening, or just above the hips, keeping the trench coat in. Okay, and then this arm's a bit too thin, so I'm going to make it a little bit fatter. How long is this video? Almost 2 minutes long. Okay. In. And go down. What? Art is nothing to be rushed. So.
Art needs to be rushed, especially when I'm holding it for 9 minutes straight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll finish this off. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Okay, this comes in like that then. Hands are just a mess. Just deal with them yourself. Meanwhile, let me just finish off the hat and I'll just get this done. Because now I gotta hurry because my sister's own is about to fall off. Moving on. Top hat, boom. Fancy thingy. Come around. And then also one more thing before you go is that they would typically have a wristwatch going across pockets if it's a fancy enough person. So a tiny little chain. So then we would have, oh my god, it's steampunk. Okay. Coming along. Ear details. And then, let me take this from you. basic sketch done. Now you can do shading any way that you want with this, but this is just basically how I would do what you sent me.